I had a conversation, well, many years ago with an uncle that was a Vietnam combat medic. And basically, he was telling me about the Bible, and well, he seemed to be able to recite many verses in the Bible and history of the church and everything. And he was at one time in his particular religion, a church youth leader. But the war left him bitter, and he can cite many places in the Bible where it seems like God has no mercy and murders people, and it's unfortunate that when you read the Bible and you take it at face value without reading it carefully in context, in light of what's going on historically, in the context and the goals to be achieved, in light of how your soul is, in a way, it's immortal if God allows it to be, right? So, and if you read, especially if you read Isaiah 57 and 58 carefully, I mean, you'll see a lot about what God's attitude is. Let's look at 57, and this is one verse that when I saw it, it explained a lot to me, because I have a grandmother that I saw die kind of a little bit slowly before my eyes with cancer. In fact, she died the week of Thanksgiving. This happens to be Thanksgiving. I have off, and I like to read my Bible before going to bed. I read Isaiah a couple different times. I don't have it memorized, but I do like to take notes and note things and highlight things. And 57:1 is one that just, when I read it, it stuck to me, and I want to read it to you, and it's just kind of go forward to some other points in 57 and Isaiah 58. So here we go. The righteous perish, and no man lay it to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He should enter into peace, they should rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. So basically, I mean, if you don't understand the language there, is that good people that are righteous die all the time, and nobody really seems to care, and no one really lays it to heart, and there's men of mercy that are taken away and killed, and so are righteous people. But people, before you start blaming, why does God, and asking those questions, why does God allow these kind of things? Well, here's a hint of some of the answer, right? The righteous is taken away from the evil to come, to enter into the peace of their rest. Talking about rest in their beds, they're talking about sleeping till God comes, and they will wake up in and walk in their uprightness. Okay. Let's look at some other things here. First of all, another thing you should note here, I would say read this chapter 57 carefully. I kind of like, this is one area that I just noticed here. For thus said the high and lofty one that inhabited eternity, whose name is holy. So let's look a little bit more. If we keep reading that, he says, I dwell in the high and holy place with him also that is of contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. So, for I will not contend forever. That means he's not going to just stand by idly. Neither will I always be wroth, neither is he always going to be angry. For the spirit should fail before me, and the souls which I have made. For that spirit of anger should just fail before him, because that's not in his nature. And if we look at 18, I have seen in his ways, I will heal him. I will lead him also and restore comforts unto him and to his mourners. So think about that when you think about how many people die. Let's look at this area here in Isaiah 58, talking about fasting. And he goes, behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fists of wickedness. Ye should not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. So it's sort of like just doing it to get something out of your fasting. And then God says, is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Basically, let's just skip to what he wants you to do, okay? And he goes, isn't it not this the fast that I've chosen? So he's telling you here, like you have to infer from the question, that what he wants is for you to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free. So back, if you had somebody who was oppressed under you, or slavery in those days, he wants them to be freed and to break every yoke. And for us, that could be a yoke from evil, from bad habits. Number 7, is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh. So basically, that's something for you to think about. With that, I'm out.